Hello everyone and welcome to the Keep Productive YouTube channel. I'm very lucky to have Tiago Forte. It's like been ages since we've been sort of talking online and things like that, and we're going to talk a little bit about the apps and workflows that you use. So welcome and tell us a little bit more about the new book that's coming out very soon.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm a longtime fan, so it feels very gratifying to be here with you. It's a 4-year-long project that I've been working on to just get everything that I know about knowledge management and digital note-taking and put it into a book that you'll be able to buy on any online retailer, most bookstores, paperback, hardcover, audiobook. It's really everything that I know about how to build a second brain.
It's going to be so weird, like going into, there's like a UK store called Waterstones, going into Waterstones and seeing it be there.
I know, right?
It's going to be insane. Like, I'll be like, I know that guy.
I know, we're going mainstream. We're going from the weird niches of the internet to the bookstores.
It's good though. And Tiago's also doing a lot on YouTube, so he's got a video. We're doing collaborations as well today, so I'll be over on his channel doing some fun stuff.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about a little bit of the way that you use apps, because obviously we talk a lot about apps on this channel, and I think like from your experience, especially with Second Brain and having that knowledge, I think it's nice to see inside like how you tend to organize yourself, even if it's like an opportunity for people to cherry pick some nice stuff. So how do you take your notes? I think that's a good starting point.
Yeah, sure. So I've been on Evernote for 10 years. April 6th, 2022 was the 10-year anniversary of my Evernote usage. I've used it continuously that entire time.
Wow.
I've used Evernote for a long time. It's just the easiest default place without having to make a bunch of decisions, without having to decide where it goes, that I can just route, virtually all kinds of information in my life, from quotes to excerpts from books or articles, excerpts from podcasts, research that I do, online bookmarks, web clips, random ideas. It all goes one place, which is there.
Lovely. And so how do you blend Notion into that as well? Like, what's that stage look like for you?
Yeah, so to me, Notion is getting information and kind of taking it a step further, right? Evernote excels at capture, right?
Yeah.
That initial just getting it into digital form, right? And that is an important job. Like, until it's captured in some form, you can't do anything else. The thing with Notion is it takes more work. It just takes more, it takes me putting on my designer hat. I have to start making decisions, like what do I want the icon to be in the little profile pic thing?
Yeah.
What do I want the cover image to be? What are the sections? What are the columns? What are the database? Whatever. And so I'm picky, and I wait until I know how I'm going to use information. To usually what happens is I get it from Evernote and just put it into Notion, where I can create all those things.
Fantastic. And in terms of, we've talked about it, we actually did a segment on it a while ago. Use Things for your tasks.
Yes.
How do you use it? And I guess, why do you use it above, say, another app?
Same thing. I've been using Things probably for a decade. I just love that it doesn't change. They're not constantly trying to force new fancy features on me that aren't ready, that are in beta. They're very stable. The fastest app, never has bugs, never hangs. You never see the wheel of death. It is like a hammer. Like you just expect a hammer to work in exactly the same way each time. That's what Things is for me.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's one of those apps that's like so beautifully built.
Yeah.
It's like minimal perfection.
Yes.
And calendar, like, what made you go with BusyCal?
Because it's completely boring and utilitarian. You can see the theme here.
It's like a 2012 stack.
It is.
Right?
It is.
But in a good way.
No, it's totally stable. I tried Fantastical that had some new, more advanced features, but the natural language thing where you could say like Friday at 3 p.m. always seemed to just not work quite right for me. And then for a time I used one called Woven, which was going to be the new, but then it shut down. That's what I'm saying. It's like every time I adopt some beta app, I get burned because they get acquired, they get shut down, they run out of money, I don't know, something happens.
It's like an attachment issue with it.
It's a real attachment. I hold my apps like a teddy bear. I want the same teddy bear that I had when I was a little kid.
It's good though, because I always advocate on the channel, like, if you can stay with an app for a long period of time, that will only be good. And that's, so you're like a prime example of that, which is good.
You know how I think of it is, I always ask myself, what is the bottleneck to my creativity? What is the bottleneck right now to my creative output? And it has literally never been, oh, this one particular feature of my software.
Yeah.
No, the bottleneck is always usually my own psychology.
Yeah.
It's my own courage. It's my own honesty with myself. It's my boldness. It is my comfort with uncertainty. It's my ability to take risks.
Yeah.
And so one way that I just manifest that is by keeping my tool set very conservative so that I can take risks when it comes to the actual public work that I share.
Yeah. It's a good idea. I respect that. And sort of those assisting apps you use. So what do you and your team use right now?
Yeah, so now that I've said all that, there's a big exception, which is just the past 2 years out of the 8 or 9 years I've had my business, we started hiring. Okay. Really, when the pandemic started, we started building a team. So I've had to learn how to be a manager and how to be a CEO and a leader. And it turns out, surprise, surprise, that different people want to use different apps, and they often want to use a more modern, more recent kind of app. And so I had to kind of loosen my grip and
drop the Zimmer frame.
Yes, exactly. And the ones that they really brought to us, to me, were ClickUp for tasks and Notion for documents in general.
Oh, brilliant. So you like reference everything in Notion.
Yep.
It's like the silo location.
Yes, exactly. That's kind of our shared second brain. And ClickUp is our shared project management app.
Brilliant. And other assisting apps for yourself. Superhuman, is that something that you came across recently, or? Actually,
that one is also more recent. Maybe 3-4 years ago. I think 2019.
Okay, that's quite a long time for Superhuman.
It was pretty early. In fact, it's kind of a cool story. The founder of Superhuman reached out to me, and he said one of their biggest inspirations for the design of their whole app was my Inbox Zero article.
Oh, sweet.
He said they would give that article to new staff that was joining the company.
Yeah.
Which was very flattering, of course. But also, I open up the app and I'm like, oh, every single one of my principles and ideas perfectly manifested in this software. How can I say no?
Yeah. Well, you need to make software now, right?
Oh. No!
Do it. I love it. And you use Instapaper for capture of articles, right?
Yep.
Do you find that do you find self-saving like articles or tweets? Like, is it like your podcast as well? Or how do you go about?
Yeah, so Instapaper is often called a read later app. But content is content, right? Whether you are reading it, in the case of text, listening to it in the case of audio, or watching it in the case of video, that can all go to that one place, right? So I save, podcasts that I want to read, ebooks that I want to download, articles I want to read, it all goes in. Again, I always like one single central place.
Yeah.
I might move it from there elsewhere, but without that single default place, if I even have to make the decision, does it go in A location or B location, I'm already lost. I'm already over it.
Yeah, it's gone. The time's gone.
Yeah.
And my question is like, so when I'm guessing you don't wake up and you plan what's on your day. Do you do that in a couple of days in advance or a week in advance, or how do you go about doing that?
During my weekly review.
Okay, so what day is that on normally?
It's funny, I've never stuck to a single day and a single time.
Okay.
I do it based on how quickly things are changing.
Oh, right, okay.
So like some weeks, every hour, the environment changes. Every hour, every couple hours, there's new information. And so I'll often do my whole weekly review, which includes reviewing my calendar, clearing my email inbox, clearing my task manager inbox, clearing my notes inbox. Like I'm basically going through and clearing and processing each of the places where information comes in. I'll do that. I might do that every day on a really crazy week. But then there's other times if I'm, say, writing. When you're writing a book, the last thing you want to do is, let me stop writing when I'm in the flow and go do my weekly review. No. So in that case, I might do it once a week or even once every 2 weeks. I kind of vary it based on what's going on.
And then during that week review, you like plot out a week in advance then? Like just, or do you have things going like where you're like, I know what task I have in a month?
I'd say So the last step in my weekly review is making a list of tasks.
Okay.
But it's not really a daily to-do list. It's more like a week to-do list, right?
Yeah.
Because I think of the week as, this is very David Allen, there's a hard landscape, right?
Yeah.
There's specific meetings and appointments which go on the calendar.
Yeah.
And so my to-do list is simply the backlog of things that will fill in all the gaps
Yeah.
between all those meetings and appointments and calls.
Yeah.
So as soon as I finish a meeting, right, I don't want to go to I think most people go to their email or see text messages. They go to their communication channels. I really try to avoid that.
Yeah.
Because I want to prioritize what I've already decided is important,
Yeah.
not what the next person messaged me about.
Yeah.
And so I just look straight at that to-do list, which is more or less sorted by priority, and I just do the first thing.
Yeah.
Or if I can't do the first thing, just go down the list until there's something that I can do.
Okay. And what do you do in those situations when, because like it's something that is a question that I get all the time in comments. I don't know the answer. It's more like when somebody wants your time in an urgent thing, but you want to protect your time. How do you go about approaching that? Is it that you manage it through the calendar, or you just simply don't let it happen?
Yeah, I mean, this is like this is the elephant in the room, I feel like, of productivity, is you have to learn to have boundaries. It really comes down to personal boundaries, I think. If you don't have good boundaries and you allow people to put things on your plate, no productivity app or system or framework is going to save you.
No.
You're just lost.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you accept things without pushing back, without filtering, people will just continuously... You'll become the person, oh yeah, give it to Francesco.
Yeah.
He always has free time.
Yeah, yeah. It's that classic like say no philosophy.
You have to learn. And over time, I've just become more and more direct. I used to really kind of waffle, oh yeah, maybe I'll get to that. Or I would just not respond to their email because hopefully they'll forget about it.
Yeah.
All these really passive aggressive kind of like avoidant ways of communicating.
Yeah.
I've just realized that being direct and just brutally honest often is a real gift to them. It's more honest to just say, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
My plate is full. I don't have the bandwidth. That's not a priority right now. Like you learn these phrases.
It's
right?
good advice. I probably need some of this as well. Yeah, just like that limit.
Yeah,
that you pick
and of course things slip through. I say yes to things I shouldn't. Sometimes I say no to something that later on I realize, oh shoot, I should have said yes to that.
Yeah.
But this is an infinite game. You're always learning and refining and changing based on the season of your life. When we had our kid, my no had to become like a hammer. Absolutely no.
Yeah, because your time's slim.
It's so
fast.
limited. But then
I love that tweet that you said about the kid as the ultimate Pomodoro.
Yes.
That is perfect.
It's true. You can't negotiate.
No, you can't.
That's one customer that you can't negotiate, will not take any other answer. They want
just
what
like a
they want.
dictator.
Yes. Totalitarian.
Tiago, it's been great to have you. Thank you so much for coming on Keep Productive.
Absolutely.
Where can everyone find you after this video? YouTube, all the other places?
Yeah, you can find me at buildingasecondbrain.com is probably the best place. You can find the upcoming book, the course that we teach, all of our free content, which includes the blog, the podcast, all the usual things, all at buildingasecondbrain.com.
Lovely jubbly. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Feel free to leave any comments below and any questions, and I'm sure we'll jump into them. Anyway,
thanks everyone.